Hello everyone, welcome back to another session by K21 Academy. Today we will be discussing about how to create and connect AWS EC2 instance and add tags.
EC2. Now, what is an EC2? EC2 is a web service that provides you servers in the cloud, which can be customized as per your need. Now, in our previous class, I have told you that when we are working in cloud, it is actually the virtualization which is happening in the background. So, how does it happen is whenever we create a EC2 instance in the cloud, we are actually creating a virtual machine in the cloud. Let me redraw the same thing for you. So, if this is my physical server, then this is my layer of virtualization, which basically enables my this underlying physical server to get divided into multiple virtual machines. So I can create virtual machines in the cloud, but then I don't have any guarantee that all the virtual machines that I'm creating in the cloud will be residing on the same physical server. We don't have any guarantee of that. We create the virtual machines, but where these virtual machines are being positioned, where they are being aligned, it is completely in the hand of Amazon. And like this, multiple servers are there in AWS on which virtual machines are getting created. There are multiple customers of Amazon who are coming and creating the virtual machine. Such kind of huge numbers of servers are there in the data center of Amazon. Multiple servers which are kept in the same rack. If I shorten up the diagram, the structure a little bit, and if I reselect the server component, so like this, multiple servers sitting in one physical rack, and like this, multiple racks are there in the data centers of Amazon. Like this, multiple racks are present. Now, where your machine will get created, it's not in your hands. Like this, multiple racks are there. Probably when you create your one VM, it is getting created over here. When you are creating another VM, it is getting created over here. Like this, you don't have any control on that where your machines are getting created. Okay. If you want to have that control, then also Amazon gives you a feature that we will be studying. But then EC2 is what? EC2 is a web service that provides you servers in the clouds which are customized as per your need. And they are pay as you go and are scalable. Why do we call them as scalable? Because you see over here this diagram. Like today you have created this one physical server where you have demanded for 2 cores of CPU and 4 GB of RAM. You demanded for this much. Later, after some time, you realized that you actually do not need 2 cores. You actually needed 4 cores or 8 cores with 32 GB RAM. Then, what you can do is you can simply put down this machine, or you can say you can shut down this machine for a while, and then while the machine is shutted down, you can allocate more resources to this same virtual machine as per your requirement. And then when you restart this machine now, this machine has been enhanced to the said amount of cores. Suppose say you were requiring 8 cores with 32 GB RAM, you have it, and your machine is running on this and scaled up machine. Like this, you can create the machines which can be changed in size, and the payment that you have to do is it has to be done on the monthly basis. You need to do the payment on monthly basis. Although the charge is counted on hourly basis, but then the payment is required to be done at the end of the month. So it is pay as you go model that can be created in the cloud. It's highly scalable because you can go ahead and can change the size of the EC2 instance at any time. This is a scalable service. Flexible. You can change. In fact, right like today, you selected, there are multiple types of machines which are available in the cloud. If I take you on the live page and we log into our portal, while you are creating your EC2 instance, you must have noticed that you can select multiple different types of machine. Although we always select T2 micro. The reason behind that is a free tier eligible instance type. That is the reason we take the EC2 instance of the type T2 micro always. But then if you want, you can basically choose any other type of EC2 instance also. And that could be a compute optimized family. It could be a storage optimized family from where you can select. It could be a memory optimized family. It could be a general purpose family from where you can launch an EC2 instance, which are designed for the purpose, which can be selected like this. See, I have now logged in into the portal. And if I go to the EC2 dashboard, at the time of launching the EC2 instance, I have an option to select which type of EC2 instance do I want to launch. If I go to the instances, I'll be little slow on this so that it gets reminded to you. So now on the search bar, we wrote EC2. This EC2 service came up. This is the EC2 dashboard which is in front of you. From there, I went on to the instances. I went to the instances. Then I clicked on launch instance. From here, I can select the EC2 instance type from the variety of instances available. If I click on compare instance types, I am able to see a lot of instances. Some are starting with T, some of them are starting with A, some of them are starting with C. Like this, I have got multiple instances, and you see over here so many pages. So there are I, H, M, R, various initial letters are there. Now, what does all these initial letters means? If you go to EC2 Instance Types, you will be able to see Amazon has basically classified the EC2 instances into categories. So these categories are general purpose instances, compute optimized instances, memory optimized instances, accelerated computing instances, storage optimized instances, instances which are optimized for high performance computing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 categories in which Amazon has divided the variety of EC2 instances that Amazon gives you. If you click on the general purpose, you will be able to understand that the general purpose instances basically gives you a balance of performance. So it will be compute, memory and network. All these three things will work in a balance, and they are ideal for your web servers and for your code repositories kind of workloads. These kind of general purpose machine. So your M, T family, M family, T family and A1 family. These are basically your general purpose family. Now don't panic. You don't have to memorize that M is from general purpose, T is from this. You don't have to memorize it. Okay. This doesn't comes up in your exam that which particular instance type belongs to which family. But at the end of the day, Amazon wants you to know that these are the categories which are available. So you should be having this thing in your mind that there are certain families which are general purpose, which are good enough for the web browsers and code repositories, where the compute, memory, and networking resources works in a balance. Whereas the compute optimized EC2 instances, they are instances which are idle for the workloads, which are compute intensive workload, where the processor has to work at a high level. High performance processors are required in the compute optimized workloads. If you have got a basic high performing web server, media transcoding, batch processing, high performance computing at a smaller scale, scientific modeling, where compute intensive workloads will be loaded. Such workloads are well suited for the compute optimized families, which is actually the C family. And this number na 4, 5, 6, these are basically the generations. And then afterwards, the G, it basically represents the graviton processor. A over here represent the ARM workloads, ARM based processors. So like this, every name has a meaning inside it. But you don't have to memorize them, because this page is always available for you to go through and see. I'm sharing this link to you for referring it later on. Okay. So these are your compute optimized family. So if it is a dedicated gaming server, ad server, machine learning interference, which is required to be created, which actually helps you to create a workload which is compute intensive. High compute is required. Then you can take up the compute optimized family. Then it comes the memory optimized. So these are basically the instances which are created by keeping in mind that you are required to deliver fast performance, where large data sets in the memory is required to be processed. So these are good for what? They are good for creating the front end electronic design automation solutions. They are good for RDBMS workloads, SQL kind of workloads. They are good for financial, actuarial jobs, for data analytics simulation. So these memory optimized machines are good for that. So if you see, this R family is majorly into the memory optimized, and you have X also. This is your memory optimized machine. Then it comes accelerated computing. Now, accelerated computing, which will use hardware accelerator and co-processors to perform functions. Along with the computing which is there on the machine, you will be using accelerated computing by additionally adding the hardware accelerator to it. So over here, like this functions like floating point number calculation, graphic processing, data pattern matching, such kind of things which requires softwares running on the CPUs. So it is basically the GPU based instances, graphical processing unit, which is there. If you need NVIDIA, then this is the accelerated computing family, which can be a handy case for you. So P, D, and G family are basically falling under this category. Now, over here, it has even given you the use case scenarios. Computational fluid dynamics, majorly for the scientific research purposes. These machines are being used. Okay. Which needed accelerated computing. Then it is the storage optimized. Means if on the storage, that means on your SSD drive, random input output operations per second, that means IOPS, you need low latency and high IOPS on the storage. If you want a system of that kind, then you will use a storage optimized family. So this I family is majorly used for that. Now, if you see the use case for this, it is but obvious that the databases will be a very good use case for this kind of data EC2 instances. Apart from the RDBMS, relational databases, even the no SQL databases like KeyDB, ScalaDB, Cassandra, these databases also works well on the storage optimized EC2 instances. If you want to create a workload for them, then this is the family you can use. The last one is HPC optimized. As the name suggests, these are purpose built instances which offers you best price performance for running the HPC workload. High performance computing workloads such as complex simulations, deep learning workloads. So this HPC family, this is majorly being used for it. This is a very newly launched family. Last time when I taught the batch, at that time this family wasn't there. This is the first time I'm seeing this family, HPC family. So these are the various families which are available in Amazon, which you can use to launch your desired type of EC2 instance. While launching, you can choose from any of these. If you scroll down, it is a huge list of EC2 instances which are there, which you can opt from. Some of them are enabled, some of them are disabled for you, depending upon the operating system that you choose. Because this operating system should basically support this architecture which is being used over here. Okay, that's why. So these machines are very flexible. You have a variety of things to choose from. Very secure. In our security chapter, we have already seen how security can be deployed either by using security group, NACL, network firewall. You can deploy n number, or not n, the counted number of security services in AWS and can secure your infrastructure. These EC2 instances are by default secured with the help of NACLs and security group. Okay, this service is very cheap because you are just paying for hours. Like the number of hours you are running the service, you are paying it. If in the real world, if you go and purchase a 32 core processor with 128 GB RAM, it will cost you around, like if I talk in the Indian rupees kind of thing, then it will cost you 5 to 6 lakh rupees. It will give you a cost, and that cost is required to be given today itself to procure that server. And then you will be required to procure the operating system, you will be required to procure a rack to keep it, then you need a data center. All those maintenance tasks can will be required. But if you take EC2, you are freed up from all these burdens. That's why Amazon call it as inexpensive, because it's actually very cheap. When we create the EC2 instances, at that time, earlier we were giving the name and the tags. We, in our previous chapter, when we have studied and we have created the EC2 instance, at that time we have always just given a name like this: Linux machine, Windows machine. But actually this field of tags is not confined just to give the name to the machine. It's actually a service of Amazon via which you can associate customized metadata to your machine. Metadata is nothing but the properties of the machine, right? So if you want to, like this Linux machine that I am launching, okay, if I want, I can click on add additional tags. I can add up to 50 tags to one machine. So I want to add up a tag. Now, why this particular machine is being used? So what is the application in which this EC2 instance will be utilized? So I said it will be used in my core banking IMPS module. Add a tag. What is the site on which it is deployed? So I can give that it is a primary DC site. Like this, I can give some properties to my EC2 instance. I can put it up over here. Backup frequency. I will write a number over here. Maybe like I have written 4. And actually I can write up a program in which I can say if the backup frequency of this tag, the backup frequency tag, if it holds the value 4, that means you need to take the backup of this machine every 4 hours. So like this, I can even use these tags into my codings, into my script writing. So like this, I can add up to 50 tags to my machine. So I will be creating the machine with all these tags, and then I'll show you from where you can access the tags. I'm taking up the Linux machine, Amazon Linux. We will always take up a free tier eligible machine only. We know that the key pair is a pair which consists of a public key and a private key. Public key remains in cloud and the private key is in the public key is there in the cloud and the private key is with us, like this NV key we have created last time. Let us create a new key today. Create a new key pair. Let's name it as what? Because it is getting created in North Virginia. So I will give it name this. And we are into the month of December. So I wrote DEC 2022. Now, because I am creating it for Linux instances, so I can change the private key format to PPK. I can download this my private key in 2 format. I can download it in PEM file. I can download it as PPK file. So it is my choice. Remember at the time in our initial classes, I have told you that if you have a EC2 instance created in the cloud, this EC2 instance, if it is a Windows machine, which is the protocol that you use to connect to this machine? We use RDP to connect to this machine. If I am as a user sitting over here with my laptop and I want to take the remote access of my this Windows machine. Now I'm sitting here at my home having an active internet connection and this machine is there in the VPC of AWS cloud. When we have studied our VPC chapter, at that time we have discussed what VPC is. So this machine is basically created in the VPC and in that also it is actually created inside a subnet of my VPC. Do you remember in which region we were working at the time when we were learning our VPC chapter? North Virginia only. So then there must be the VPC available which we have created at the time of practical. We'll see that also. So right now I am creating a PEM file. So I have told you that if it is a Windows machine, then I will be using via the internet gateway. We are getting a revision of the things. This is called as an internet gateway now. So via the internet gateway with the help of my routing tables, I can get associated and get connected with the machines that I create in the cloud. So if it is a Windows machine, then I use RDP as a protocol to connect to it. If it is a Linux machine, instead of Windows, if it is a Linux machine, then what was the protocol that we used to have for getting connected? SSH. We were using SSH for getting connected to it. RDP was using 3389 port and SSH was using port number 22. Okay. When it is a Windows machine, I was using the tool called Remote Desktop Client, which can be accessed by clicking Windows R on the keyboard and writing MSTSC, and then by clicking the OK button, I will have this remote desktop connection. There I need to provide the IP address and the password, and I was able to get connected. So if it is a Windows machine, then I use this RDP tool, remote desktop client connection can be used. When it is a Linux machine, which tool did we used? Remember, what was the tool? Yes, we have used two tools basically. We have used PuTTY and we have also used MobaXterm. Get connected. Yes. When it was PuTTY, I have told you that the PuTTY as an application can understand only .ppk files. It do not understand spam files. Okay. And the MobaXterm, it works with .pem file for the Linux machines. Whatever you want to use for connecting, you can. In my case, I will be now using MobaXterm to connect to it. That's why I will download the key as a PEM file. If you are planning to connect to the machine via PuTTY, then you can download the .ppk file. So I selected the PEM. I clicked on create. By default, this private key got downloaded. Where does it got downloaded? It is actually downloaded in my downloads folder over here. I can cut it from here and I will put it inside the folder F drive AWS1. I'm putting this file over here. NVDEC 2022. Okay. Now on the network settings, rather than now launching the machine in the default VPC, I will go and launch the machine in K21 VPC. My K21 VPC was having one application subnet, one database subnet. So I will choose the application subnet. This auto assign public IP is required to be enabled because I want to get connected to the machine from the outside world. For the security group, I can create a security group for Windows. If it is not already created, let me see. I don't have any security groups created in a much structured way for my K21 VPC. So let's create. So I will create SG for Linux. So this security group I am creating for my Linux machines because the AMI that I selected was Amazon Linux. That's why. Okay. And I am allowing SSH, that is the port number 22 from anywhere. Plus, I can add one more security group rule saying that I want to allow HTTP, that is port number 80 also from anywhere. And then this is the default size of your root volume, the volume on which the installation of the operating system will occur. If you want, you can enhance the size of this volume right from here, and then you click on launch instance. So this is how you can launch an EC2 instance in your desired VPC. This is how we launched a Windows machine, Linux machine. If you select this machine and you uplift this properties section, these are actually nothing but the metadata of your machine, properties of your machine. If you click on the tags, you will be able to see all the custom tags which are associated with this machine, which will actually help me to identify the use case of the machine. Like this is a Linux machine, but this machine is created for my core banking application for IMPS module. This is a part of primary data center. The backup frequency is 4. Like this, I can add up to 50 tags to this machine. Similarly, let me launch one Windows machine also. So I will name it as Windows EC2 Instance. Apart from this, I can also add the tags. If I don't want to add the tags now, I want it to be added after launching the machine, I can do that also. Let's do it after launching the machine for this EC2 instance. I'll be taking up Windows as an operating system over here. For instance type, I will stick to T2 Micro. For key pair, you are aware that I can use the key pair which I created, that is NV December 2022. I am not required to create the key pair again and again, because for the Windows machine also I use the .pem extension. So I can use the same key. For the network settings, I'll again click on edit and I will take up K21 NV and application subnet. Auto assign public IP will be enabled, and this time let me create a security group for Windows. In this, by default, the 3389 port is allowed. I can add one more rule to allow the HTTP port from anywhere. And then this is the default storage. If you want, you can keep it same. Otherwise, you can enhance it also from here. So I'm launching this another EC2 instance also. So now if I go and see the list of the EC2 instances, I have got two. One is the Linux machine and one is the Windows machine. And these are the tags associated with it. So for the Windows machine, I have not associated any tag. It was only the name tag which I have given. So I can click on manage tags and can add tags from here. Like I can add application. So you'll be able to see the list of tags which are already created over here. You should be. These are case sensitive, by the way. If I write application like this, it is different from application like this. I will enter a value inside it. What is my value for the application tag? It is, again, let's take core banking only. But then this is for your RTGS module. Another module. Site is my primary DC. In this, backup frequency, I entered 4 again. So like this, I can add tags over here. If I click on save, these tags can be seen on this section individually for the machines. But if I go to the tags on the dashboard, on over here, see on the left hand side, if I click, all these tags which I created, application, backup frequency, name, site, can be seen from here. Now you can see that the primary DC, this value, I don't know why these got created 2 2. They should be actually like site. Is okay. There is a space difference between this and that. Similarly, for the application, APPLICATION, maybe some kind of space or some gap is there. But yeah, this is being shown too because application tag has got two values: core banking RTGS, core banking IMPS, and there are one instances with this tag. For the site, I have got two instances which are having the value primary DC. If I click on this, I will even be able to see the EC2 instances which are under this category, the primary DC. I'll be able to see them. This site. Site is primary DC. So you'll be able to see the resources once they are up. Right now they are in initializing state. That's why. Otherwise you will be able to see them. So these are your customized metadata tags. If I go back to the EC2 instance, go back to the tags and I manage. So I can remove the space from here. So then it will be similar to the one backup frequency value 4. For application, I'm saving it now. Okay. So now as per the setup, the backup frequency has got value 4 for 2 instances. See, I'm able to see it. The two machines are having the value as backup frequency tag. The value is set to 4. If I click, I will be able to see them. 1 to 2 instances are being shown, maybe because of larger size of the page. Yes, see, these are the two instances, because the resolution, the size of the texts were bigger now, that's why I was not able to see. So see, I'm able to see these are the two machines with the backup frequency 4. The site is primary DC, the name is this, and this is the resource ID. So I can see it from there. This is your custom metadata of your EC2 instances. So in the PPT also the same tag field is being explained. So tag is nothing but a label that you can assign to your AWS resource, which can be later used for categorization of your resource or for managing the resource. It's just an arbitrary name value pairs. So the name is site, the value is primary DC. The name is backup frequency, the value is 4. So it is a pair of name and values, and you can give anything into these tags. You can add up to 50 tags to one EC2 instance or to one service, which can be used for the purpose of classification, for the purpose of creating the script. These tags can be even used in IAM policy to implement the access control. So if the value of this tag is this, then these are the users who will be allowed access for. So like that also these tags can be used for various strategies. You can do the cost allocation, security, automation on the backup. They can be used for anything, the tags.
Hey, thank you so much for staying with us till the end of this video. I have something special to share. If you loved our content today, then you are absolutely going to adore what's coming next. We have a free class that's absolutely free, and the best part is it's available for everyone. This class goes in depth into the topics we touched on today, offering you detailed insights, comprehensive explanations, and even some exclusive content that wasn't covered in this video. All you have to do is just click on the link in the description below and you will be redirected to a page like this. Or if you're just starting from fresh, just type k21academy.com/AWS02 and hit enter. Voila. Now this is the class that we are talking about. Now you can go through all the information that we'll be covering in the class, some customer testimonials, and you can book your seat by choosing the event date, the timing suitable according to you. Enter your name, enter your email, enter your phone number, and click on yes, save my seat. You can save this custom URL to join the webinar. And this way you'll be able to attend the free class on AWS Cloud for Beginners. I promise this is something you don't want to miss, so go ahead, click on that link and step into a world where learning knows no boundaries. Till then, keep enjoying. I'll see you in the next video.